So I got the brand new GoPro Mission Pro. It costs about $700. It shoots in 8K and it can go down underwater 60 feet. But let's be entirely honest, I didn't jump out of an airplane to test it, and you probably won't either. Most reviews show pro athletes doing wild things, and while I wish that was the case and I had access to a lot of that craziness, today we're just gonna focus on it being a cinema camera. So we're gonna look strictly through the lens and decide if this cinema camera is actually worth it for the average person vlogging through town and talking to it, like actually I am right now. This is on the Mission Pro, but let's just wander around before the sun goes down and even after the sun goes down and talk about the specs and let you see and hear for yourself.
MrBlack.
So probably like you, I tossed and turned all night wondering, should I get that new GoPro Mission Pro? I mean, shelling out the money for something like this makes you wonder, is it entirely worth it? Especially where I live in Australia, it's $1,100 dues. Yeah, you could buy a lot with that. But I also feel like I owe it to you guys because we kind of built this channel on GoPro, and I also owe it to GoPro because I kind of gave up on them for lack of innovation and really lack of excitement for what I use cameras for. But again, at the same time, I'm not doing anything really action-y. I'm just wanting to let you see what it looks like because, you know, they have a new 1-inch sensor, which is something that we've been talking about for a long time, trying to get a 1-inch sensor on a GoPro. And they were like, it's impossible, you can't do that. But apparently it's possible because they did that. But getting to the heart of it, GoPro is calling the Mission Pro a compact cinema camera rather than just an action cam, thanks to a massive hardware overhaul. There are dozens of specs, but if you're not an action junkie, there's only 3 that you should really care about. And no, we're not gonna talk about overheating on this one, but I will let this run at 8K, 30 frames per second, and then if it does overheat for some reason throughout this whole time, I'll let you know. But if you don't hear about it again, it's because it didn't overheat. Now, historically, GoPros have sucked at low light because they didn't need to. Like, they didn't need to be low light cameras. They were meant to be surfing, skiing, doing crazy things in broad daylight. And that's why it looks so good. But as soon as the sun goes down, not so much. So the Mission Pro actually fixes that. Because the major sensor is physically larger, it pulls in way more light. So evening walks, indoor vlogs, even like the birthday parties when they're blowing out the candles, is gonna look a lot better on this camera. Now, the second thing you should care about is the 8K open gate video. This right here is the ultimate lazy creator tool. Basically, it records in a boxy 4:3 aspect ratio using the whole sensor. Now, why should you care about that? Well, that's great because then when you go through your footage later on, you can either crop it for 16:9 or 9:16 if you want to do vertical videos out of it. And that's what a lot of creators want, is be able to switch between landscape and vertical without having to physically flip the camera. All right, third thing is the internal microphones. Now, these ones have 32-bit float, which basically means it's impossible to clip these microphones. So if you were shooting with action and you started screaming in your video, it's not gonna have that clipped sound. It's actually gonna be able to control it and make it sound good. And maybe you don't care about it, but it does have like very super slow motion at 1080p, like a short burst of video. So if you did something where you wanted to capture something in slow motion, that looks really good and very slow. Is it brand new to action cameras? No, not really. We've seen this at least interpolated on DJI cameras. It does have 244K, which we've seen on other cameras as well. But you know, that's great for GoPro to get into that. Now I'm kind of walking against the light here, so if I did turn around and get the light, you can kind of see the differences of sunlight hitting me and not sunlight. This is also linear. I'm holding it on a selfie pole about 2 feet away from me, which is typical, you know, for action cameras when you want to make sure that you're in focus. Also with 8K, I'll probably export this in 4K so I can easily crop in, as you've been seeing through some of these clips, and I won't lose much quality, if any. But I'd say for a casual vlogger, shelling out $700 US, that might be a bit extreme. And honestly, if you're just filming things in 1080p for your group chat, that's like buying a Ferrari to take to the grocery store. It's overkill and might not be for you, which is fine. There's some other things I'm gonna notice over time, and we'll test those out. I do like that the battery door from the other model, the 13 and before that, you can still use that battery door that has the magnetic charging to it. That is very handy. Also the mount, the magnetic mount that you can use underneath it, just like the other ones, that works too. So I do like those. Those are some of my favorite accessories from GoPro. But is the Mission 1 Pro worth it if you're not an action junkie? If your goal is to get a durable action camera for your family travels, family vacations, something you could take snorkeling with you, there's a lot of other options out there that's probably better. Maybe even older GoPros that would be better suited for that. But if you're a content creator, a solo vlogger, or someone that wants cinematic B-roll instead of carrying around a giant mirrorless camera, maybe you have a big camera and you want a secondary camera to shoot some other stuff, this could be well worth that. The 1-inch sensor and open gate framing makes it so much more simple as a creator. But also there is the ILS version that's coming out later this year, so you can put micro four thirds lenses on there, and that way you can have zoom lenses and macro lenses, wide angle lenses, you name it. I'm really interested in that. But one thing you might be asking is this gonna be the camera that I go to pick up when I wanna film, you know, quick shots around, talking shots like this, or even some cool shots on the skateboard or whatever? I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. Is it gonna replace the Action 6 or the Ace Pro 2? Again, not sure. We'll do a test between all of those to see how they look. And yeah, what does the footage look like to you? It's overcast. The sun is completely out behind the clouds. And you guys are basically seeing this on the street and also vlogging in public, which is, you know, that's always fun. But I do like seeing that GoPro logo again, where I'm holding it up. I'm rooting for them. I mean, I really like to see them make a comeback, and maybe this is the start of that. We'll see. It's definitely, it's not for everybody, but it could be for you. And I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you think about this? Is it worth the price tag? Would you be waiting for it to drop in price? Would you be more considering the Hero 13 if you want to stay on GoPro? Or have you switched to the other ones, hence the 360 DJI? Well, I'd love to know. Drop a comment, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more. And if you do have questions, leave them down there too. I'll look at that, and we can open it up, do some live streams, and answer some of those questions coming up. So, see you next time.